Katsky Pillar. High in the Imereti region of Georgia, a towering limestone monolith juts from the earth, the Katsky Pillar. Standing at 131 feet, 40 meters tall, it's one of the most striking and mysterious ancient structures on the planet. But what makes this place so unique? Nestled at the top of the pillar is a ruined church dating back to the 9th or 10th century, with inscriptions from the 13th century. The purpose of this remote sanctuary was simple: to be as close to God as humanly possible. The story of the Katsky Pillar starts with a nearly impossible ascent. In its early years, only the bravest monks dared to climb the sheer rock face to reach the church, a climb that took incredible strength and faith. These monks, isolated from the world below, believed they were closer to heaven, living in near total seclusion. Although the church was abandoned for centuries, modern restorations in the 1990s have made it more accessible. Today, it's still primarily scaled by monks who climb the pillar to pray. However, questions remain. Who built the church? And how did they manage such a feat at such an impossible height? This mystery, like many of the world's ancient sites, remains unsolved. While the church on Katsky Pillar is believed to be dedicated to the true cross, this is often considered more symbolic. The church's exact origins and the identity of its original builders are still unknown. And although modern restoration projects have made the site safer, only a few monks are allowed to climb the pillar today. Skellig Michael. 9 miles off the coast of Ireland in the wild Atlantic Ocean rises the rugged island of Skellig Michael. At first glance, it seems an untouched, desolate rock. But venture closer and you'll discover something extraordinary. A 1400-year-old monastery built on the cliffs of this remote island. The journey to the top is no less daunting than the one to Katsky Pillar. With paths that wind dangerously along steep cliffs, it's easy to imagine the incredible hardship endured by the monks who lived here. Perched 750 feet above the sea, the monastery is made up of beehive-shaped huts, clochans, and a graveyard. The monks lived on the island for over 600 years, likely seeking seclusion from the outside world. Archaeologists believe they may have abandoned the site in the 12th or 13th century, not after the full 600 years. But why did they leave? Was it due to increasing isolation, harsh weather, or a change in religious practices? No one knows for sure. Today, only a small number of licensed guides can visit the island each year, preserving its fragile ruins. The secretive monks of Skellig Michael have left a legacy that continues to fascinate and mystify. Skellig Michael's monastery was abandoned around the 12th or 13th century, though the monks may have continued their religious practices into the 12th century. The exact reason for the abandonment is still unknown, but it's clear that the site served as a place of seclusion, likely to escape external threats or the encroachment of new religious practices. Abuna Yemata Guh. Far from the coasts of Europe, in the arid plains of northern Ethiopia, there is a cliffside church unlike any other. Carved from sheer sandstone nearly 8,500 feet, 2,580 meters above sea level, is one of the most inaccessible churches in the world. Built in the 6th century in honor of one of the 9 saints, this church can only be reached by a perilous climb up steep, narrow rock faces, using ancient handholds carved into the stone. Visitors must cross terrifying stone bridges and narrow ledges with dizzying drops on either side. But the danger doesn't end there. After an exhausting ascent, pilgrims must navigate a narrow vertical rock face, and that's just to reach the entrance. Once inside, the beauty is overwhelming. Frescoes and paintings adorn the walls, depicting biblical figures and the 9 saints, who are said to have brought Christianity to Ethiopia. The church itself is an awe-inspiring marvel of faith and architecture, dedicated to bringing those who visit as close to heaven as possible. But like the Katsky Pillar, its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Who built this church, and how did they manage such a monumental feat at such an impossible height? This remains one of Ethiopia's greatest mysteries. The 9 saints are a group of missionaries who are believed to have brought Christianity to Ethiopia in the 5th or 6th century, and their presence is honoured in the frescoes found in the church. The church is also part of a larger tradition of cliff churches in the Tigray region, which were carved into the rock faces as a means of isolation and religious devotion. Sigiriya. In the heart of Sri Lanka, there stands an ancient fortress atop a granite column that rises nearly 600 feet above the surrounding jungle. This is Sigiriya, an ancient city built by King Kashyapa in the 5th century. But Sigiriya isn't just a fortress, it's a monumental testament to human ingenuity and vision. The king's palace was built on top of the rock, surrounded by intricate water gardens and connected by causeways that still baffle archaeologists with their engineering precision. But perhaps the most iconic feature of Sigiriya is the Lion's Gate, a massive structure halfway up the rock face, shaped like the body of a lion. The reason Sigiriya is often called the Lion Rock. After the king's death, the site became a Buddhist monastery, and it was abandoned in the 14th century. Today, Sigiriya stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a place where ancient art and architecture collide to reveal the genius of its creators. The Lion's Gate is part of the upper platform at Sigiriya, which gives the site its iconic name. The water gardens are a particularly striking feature, demonstrating the builders' extraordinary engineering skills. The city was abandoned after King Kashyapa's death, and later it became a Buddhist monastery until the 14th century. Paro Taktsang. Finally, we journey to the rugged peaks of Bhutan, where the Paro Taktsang, also known as the Tiger's Nest Monastery, clings precariously to the mountainside. Situated at 10,000 feet, 3,000 meters, it is one of the most famous pilgrimage sites in the world, offering breathtaking views and a connection to both nature and spirituality. The monastery was built in the 17th century, though the site has been a place of meditation since the 8th century. The legend of Guru Padmasambhava, who is said to have flown to the cave on a tiger, is central to the site's history and its sacred significance in Bhutanese culture. Reaching the monastery is no easy feat. The hike to the top is long and treacherous, but for those who make it, the reward is unmatched. A serene, sacred space high in the clouds. The monastery remains a symbol of Buddhist devotion and a testament to the incredible willpower of those who built and maintained it. The monastery was built in the 17th century by Tenzin Rabgye, but the site has been used as a place of meditation for centuries prior to this, starting with Guru Padmasambhava in the 8th century. The monastery's name, Tiger's Nest, refers to the legend of Padmasambhava flying to the cave on a flying tiger. These extraordinary places remind us of the ingenuity, faith, and determination of ancient civilizations, leaving us with questions that may never be fully answered. If you enjoyed uncovering these mysteries with us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating explorations of our world's hidden wonders. Until next time.